Hi everyone, welcome back to the Student Pages podcast. I'm joined by Marcus Yates. How you doing, Marcus?
I'm great. How are you doing? I love your accent, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I love yours as well. Your tune literally just came out. Like your music video came out like today, pretty much after
Yeah,
law.
yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about what it's about and the inspiration for the video?
The song is basically about, you know, uh, introducing yourself to a woman that you or a man that interested in, and getting to know them, and just being like optimistic about the future with them.
Mm. And where did you film it? You filmed it around Kansas City, or?
Yeah, I filmed it in like the outskirts of Kansas City. It's this place, this college town called Lawrence, Kansas, where the KU Jayhawks play and everything. We filmed it there, and then we filmed it in another, I forgot this city, but it's outskirts of Kansas City, Missouri. But we used all Kansas City equipment.
Do you live on the outskirts or do you live in Kansas City?
Now I live dead in the city, right in the city.
Do you feel like that's had an impact on your music?
Oh, of course. Yeah, Kansas City is, filled with culture, especially if you live here and all the places where you can get things and all the different experiences that you can have. It's a plethora of culture here.
I mean, as a Brit, I mean, I've heard of Kansas City, but not necessarily know too much about the culture. What kind of things are there to do in Kansas City?
It's super balanced. It's a big city, but it's not a big city. You can eat most definitely. If you want to go to a city and eat, this is definitely the city. A lot of social events,
A lot of
concerts. Yeah.
Is there like a specific? Is it kind of like a mix of music, or do you say you're influenced by other artists from Kansas City, or not really?
Oh, of course. I'm influenced by my older cousin, my first cousin, Tech Nine, who's like the number one independent artist in the world. I've seen him grow his brand, for 20 years, and yeah, it's just been amazing to watch and being like there, firsthand and watching everything grow. I like developed a poise, to kind of like take anything that's coming, any type of misdirection that we have. Like I kind of like developed that poise because it's like I already seen it.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
how did you get into music?
I was really a dancer. I wanted to dance. My mother had a boyfriend who was like just real heavy in like KC culture as far as like dancing. And he took me under his wing. He had me in dance competitions. Yeah, this is when I'm like 12, 10. When I decided to go to high school, it was a choice to either go to this college prep high school, which was down the street, Hogan Prep, or Purcell Academy, Fine and Performing Arts. And I chose the arts, and I majored in dance, and I just became a geek about like rhythm and just expression of your body, you know.
So you still dance?
A little bit, I be grooving, when I'm making music, but I try to dance here and there, to let people know I still got it.
And what else was your upbringing like? So you were always into performing arts. What else were you interested in growing up? Just what was it like?
Yeah, before this, I was interested in sports. I was interested in basketball. Yeah, I had the choice to go to Hogan Prep and be like a football star or basketball star there, and I just chose the dance route. But I feel like I could have played overseas in basketball.
What was it that made you decide to transition from dance and sports to doing music?
It kind of was the same thing. So it wasn't really a transition. It was just the expression was different. I was just using, software and things, but I was still using rhythm. It was still like a competitive edge to it because I was like competing with myself to get better and better every day. And yeah, you got to sharpen your sword. So the sports and the dance kind of like morphed into, making music.
And how would you describe your music?
I say if Khalid and Frank Ocean and Childish Gambino just like had like a DNA like mesh and just created it, they would create me.
Did you always make that kind of music, or is that something? Because I mean, Yeah, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I'd say it's even kind of more unique than those artists. It's a very interesting sound. Like, I mean, I do a lot of
Yeah.
podcasts, but I really like your music.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, I just try to make that like just give that description to like people who ask, because I can say like, oh, it's a slew of, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I can say all these words. You know, people only refer to what they know. So I just kind of like, you know, put that all together. What was the second question that you asked?
Have you always made the same kind of music?
No, I was rapping at first. So when I was 18, Tech Nine gave me like my first opportunity to rap on a song called What's Next. Yeah, I killed it. I was like kind of singing on it too. And then like another opportunity came where I rapped on the song with Tech Nine and Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah. So
What was that like?
um yeah, I was like, that was crazy. Because I was like a fan of Kendrick Lamar, but he hadn't really like became Kendrick Lamar. I mean, I think he did, but the world was, you know, getting to know him. And I felt like I just collaborated with him at like the right time, at the perfect time.
What was that meeting experience like?
Well, I didn't meet him in the studio, like making that song. I met him like backstage. I think I met him about 3 or 4 times, here and there, just like, oh yeah, I'm the dude that's on the song. He's like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it was like that. Like just high and by, a little casual, little meeting, little conversation.
When you started out rapping and making music, do you remember one of those early lyrics or like some of the first bars you ever thought of?
Oh yeah, it was one on the song with Tech and Kendrick. It was like music ain't a hobby, it's an organ in my body that the creator provided back in J. I was dope. Like I was really dope, but I just looked at singing and like being more melodic as a bigger challenge, you know, than rapping. Because I can boast all day. I can talk about, you know, how I'm about to steal your girl and all that stuff, but you know, I like singing about my girl.
What kind of music do you listen? Do you have like a favorite album, like an all killer, no filler favorite album?
Man, I literally don't skip when I listen to D'Angelo's Voodoo album. Yeah, I think that's
Mm.
my favorite album of all time because it has so many elements, you know, incorporated into it. Another one is the Neptunes, like Pharrell, NERD. They had a compilation album with like everybody on. ODB was on there, Pusha T, Busta Rhymes, and they kind of like created this album. That was like actually the first album that I bought with my own money. It's coming full circle because I kind of want to incorporate like all those things, all those genres that they put together
Mm.
with myself. You know what I'm saying? I want to incorporate that into doing like a body of work here soon.
I mean, it's hard to find some kind of new sound within a genre, but I honestly think you're doing a great job. Like, and also not just your music is unique, but your style is very unique as well.
Yeah,
The aesthetic of your videos, the way you dress as well.
yeah,
Uh, you've got these sort of Polaroids on your Instagram. I was like, okay, that's
yeah.
a little bit. What do you have an inspiration for your style, or is that just this is just something is how you feel and
You know, I kind of look up to people who, because I always try to like be in that aesthetic, but I look up to like the people I create with, like Daniel and my homeboy Skylar. I look up to them because they just got it. They know how to like take pictures of like simple things, but like make them look like the dopest little simple things ever. First of all, I just keep it simple. We want to shoot on film. I want to wear this and I want to be standing right here.
how do you write? What's your writing process?
I think now, back then, I used to just go in like a dictionary and be like, man, this
Oh,
word is dope.
really?
Yeah. I used to be like, man, this word is like so dope, man. And I
But
just
that's a
try to,
sick way to write. That's such a good way to write because you get it's about the sound of the words and
yeah.
as well as about what you say. That's a brilliant way to write.
Yeah, it's like the encyclopedia. It's like rhythm in that word. You know, it's
Yeah.
you know, I'll like see a word and it has like a multiple syllables. Da 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 da. And
Yeah, no,
yeah, it kind
absolutely. Do you
of
know
yeah,
what? In UK music, I feel like a lot of the time it's a lot it's about the rhythm of the words. UK like rap and stuff is a bit faster as well,
yeah,
and it's like
yeah,
rhythmic. And there was a video. Do you know Tion Wayne?
yeah,
There was a video of him where he's like in the studio and he's writing lyrics for a song, and he's just like before he comes up with the lyrics, he's literally just a cappella. He's doing a cappella over the beat,
yeah,
and like and he finds words to fit the pattern.
yeah,
I think that's such a good way to write because it's like in UK music, it's all about the rhythm.
yeah. It's all about those pockets of rhythm that you try to mesh with the beat. So it started out as that, but now I'm kind of like digging more into like my heart. Like I'm like, dang, what needs to be said on this track right here?
Mm.
And I feel like I'm like happiest when I do that because I can get those feelings off that I usually wouldn't, you know. So I'm looking at it more as like therapy, like what needs to be said. And I probably might have an argument with my girl, or we probably might have a good day, and I just want to express that
Mm.
and say what exactly is on my heart, like, and not compromising words or anything. You know,
So
not
you
trying to make it sound current or anything, just like just letting it loose.
is your album then? Is it gonna feel like a proper expression of how you're feeling? Is it what do you have anything planned for that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm making it I'm making it right now, but yeah, it's gonna be really vulnerable,
Right,
you
right.
know.
That's what I was trying to
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
It'll be
It's
very
gonna be really vulnerable. And I think that's like my best work when I'm just like, you know, just letting it all out, you know.
Have you got collaborations planned for that album?
Yes, can't tell you yet, but
Right, that's right.
yes, but I am definitely. I do have like a note in my phone of who I will want to work with and reaching out to them and actually having them come to my house and just kind of building up a chemistry because I hate when people be on songs and you don't really sense the chemistry. So I want to like live with them for a couple of days and kind of see where their heads at and then try to get the most out of that chemistry.
You can definitely tell when two musicians have got together and like actually spent
Yeah.
time with each other. I love
Yeah,
when
and
you
they're
can hear
friends. They're not just it's not
in
just
it.
a business transaction. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and you might hear the little like ad lib on the song and chat to
Yeah,
each other in the studio. I love that.
yeah. It complements. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. Oh, and I saw you posted something on your Insta about like a scholarship or a grant for upcoming artists.
Yes. So it's a scholarship that I teamed up with bow.org. And I was like, man, if I had this when I was in school, I would like totally jump on it. Basically, it's just a scholarship for up and coming musicians, artists, engineers, anybody dealing with the music industry. And yeah, this is just my appreciation or me giving a care. It's called the Giving a Care Scholarship. So yeah, I'm just giving it to them and hoping they can make the best out of it and other people can add on to that scholarship. So I believe it started out at 500, but people who also give a care can add money on that. So it can be $1 million.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, Marcus, thank you so much for talking to me. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed
man,
it.
likewise.
It's been very interesting conversation.
Yeah.
And what have you got planned for the rest of the day? What are you up to?
Yeah, just working on this song. I'm working on mixing a project for this church that I'm working with. I'm pretty excited about.
Is that gonna have like a gospel vibe to it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not my work. Is I'm just playing engineer on the
Oh,
on the. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing that, and I'm gonna be chilling for real. I probably might watch if it's any NBA playoffs on today. I'm gonna watch that, and yeah.
Amazing. Well, thanks so much for talking to me, and thanks everyone for listening to the Student Pages podcast.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Marcus.
All right, man. Thank you. Have a good one.